Yeah. So we have the guest here. So Hare Krishna, Namaste, Toran Singh sir. How are you? I'll make you unmute you. Wait a minute. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So welcome to this Gita Gyan talk show. We are from ISKCON Seshadripuram.
Yes, sir.
See, there's so many devotees here. Everybody very curious to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
So thank you very much for joining for today.
Mhm.
So let us start with some basic questions. Can you please introduce yourself? Like, what are you doing currently?
Yeah, yeah.
What are your profession like that?
Yeah, myself, Dr. Toran Singh, presently working as a Dean, Faculty of Naturopathy and Yogic Science, University of Patanjali, Haridwar. I completed my BNYS, after that MSc Yoga, then PhD in Yoga.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about your family? Where do they live? And
Yeah, basically I belong to Agra, Uttar Pradesh. My family, in my family, we are all like three brothers and three sisters. They are all are residing in Agra only. Hello.
so can you please come again? I think we had some network glitch.
Yeah, 1 minute, sir. I will change to the Wi-Fi.
Sure, 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 sure.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Am I
So
audible?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I was asking a question about your family. So where is your family and what do they do?
Yeah, my father was like, he was like chemistry lecturer. He is no more right now. And my mother, she was housewife. They all used to reside in Agra. My native is Agra.
Okay, so I'll come straight to the story. Okay, so we all know that you are it's a case of reincarnation. You remember your past birth. So I would
Yes.
like to ask you. So at what age you started to remember these things, or you started saying unusual things about your past life?
It was like 1988 when I was 6 or 5.5 years old. I started speaking like to my parents like I am not belong to this family. You are not my father. You are not my mother. And we have got so much of money. You don't have anything. Like that only I started at 5.5 years of age.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
and so we heard that as a child you were speaking that you have a wife and a children in Agra. So what
Yeah, yeah.
exactly do you remember saying? I mean, what is the first thing that you remember? When
No,
you
no. Actually, I always used to complain to my parents like this is not my home. I belong to a to say richest family. I have got two kids, and my wife is there. Her name is Uma, and I need to go there. I want to stay with along with them. Like that only started.
Okay, and then at what point of time you started saying that your name is Suresh Verma like that?
It was like when I was 5.5 years to 6 years old, like 1988. Actually, my date of birth is 12/12/1983. So as soon as I started speaking like quite mature, then only I started telling everything like I am not belong to this family. I need to go. Kindly take me there. I will stay along with them. Like that only.
Right. So do you remember the names of the people you said that your wife and children when you were 5 years old?
Yeah, yeah. Everything I remember. My wife's name was like Uma, and two kids I have got their name like Ronu Singh, Sonu Singh, and my father's name was like Chanda Babu Bharti, and mother's name like Rajkumari Devi.
Okay. So and then first of all, what was the first time then when you met your previous family?
Like I
How
was,
did that meeting happen?
yeah, around when I was in 6 years old. So my one day my brother went over there and disclosed everything like there is a child in my family who used to say like I have been killed by somebody and I have got my soap. I was like a businessman. Then next day morning, they all of them came to my family, like my father, mother, and my brother, sister, and wife and kids.
Okay. And so what do you remember on that day when they all came to meet you? What
That,
happened when you saw them?
yeah, that time my father that I was taking bath. Then suddenly I said to my mother that my family member has come, so I will go along with them only. many, like they ask many questions. My wife, past wife, she asked many personal questions also. Then like that only they examine me.
Sir, is there any incident or something that you and only your wife remember, that you were able to recall, that your wife got confidence that you're
Yeah,
telling
yeah.
the
She
truth?
asked me before you died, like what to say you died. Before one day we where we went and what and all we had. And what was your account number? Many such questions she asked. And she asked that in your brother's marriage some gold was there, like something was there where you kept that. And this what to say. Many personal question also she asked and I replied for everything.
Okay. And then when you visited Agra, were you able to remember your shop that you had? I mean, the previous life you had a radio shop, right? Were you able to
Yeah, yeah.
recognize that old shop?
Yeah, yeah. The same question I asked to my wife, like there are many changes has been made. Why you are sitting here? Previously, I used to sit on the chair. And then what about my father? Why you are not along with you? Many things like that I asked.
Right. And then
Yeah,
how did they, I mean, was there any kind of a test that they did for you to find out whether you're telling the truth or not in Agra?
yeah, yeah. They like I haven't met to my childrens previously, or I was not knowing about them. They kept them in many people's like 20 to 30 childrens, and they ask me if you really know who is your sons, go and catch them. Like that test and all, they examine me like that.
Okay.
Yes.
So were you able to successfully identify your
Yeah, yeah, everything. Many other things also they ask, like what was my previous account number, then what to say, like from where and all I used to purchase the goods for the soap and all. Like that they examine many way.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So what were you doing? I mean, in your past life, what was your profession, sir? As today?
Profession, I was a shopkeeper, like TV, radio, VCR, like that was my shop was there in Sadar Bazaar of Agra, Saudagar line. Like that only I used to do.
Right.
Yeah,
And in the past life, you were murdered. It is documented, right? So
yeah,
what
yeah.
do you remember about that incident of your death?
Yeah, that day, like it was around 8:30 or 9 o'clock, I closed my shop as usual and I started leaving towards my home. And as soon as reaching home, I was putting horn in front of the gate. Then suddenly they came in that they were like what was known to me, they were my close friend at that time. Then that I asked them why you are here at this time. They told just we have come to meet you. So suddenly they killed me.
So they shot you with a revolver, is it?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What was the time at that point of time?
It was like around 8:45 or 9 o'clock.
Okay, and after dying, do you remember what happened exactly? Immediately after death, what happened?
No, no, no. As I don't know, I just know that my wife came out. She was holding my body in her hand. Then my brother and father, they she made a call to them. They also came. They took me to the hospital. That's all. After that, remaining I don't know anything.
After that, you don't remember anything,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Yes.
Yes.
So after you came back to the Agra, right? So do you meet your previous family sometimes?
Yeah, yeah. Now also I am in touch with them. Like father and mother is my no more. Wife is there. Two children are there. So whenever I used to go to Agra, I used to meet them. Still
And
we are, yeah. Still we are having nice relationship with them. As I quite busy in my studies or like what to say from past many years I am away from Agra. So on and often I used to go there. I used to meet them.
so, did your previous life family accept you as Suresh Verma?
Yeah, yeah. My father also told me many times, like if any problem is there, you please come here. We will help you financially also. We will help you. Like if you want to study in anywhere, like we will help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us about the birthmarks? We've seen that you had some birthmarks which were exactly coinciding the bullets.
Yeah, yeah. I am having one birthmark in my right temple, which was examined by BBC London in 1989. That through my past, to say like postmortem report, it is exact point where the Suresh has been shooted.
So after Suresh has been murdered, the
Yeah,
murderers were not identified, right?
yeah, yeah. No, no,
So
that time itself they got identified.
they got identified.
Yeah, they got identified as per the law, whatever the what to say punishment has been made, then they did that.
So at the time of shooting itself, they were caught.
Yeah, yeah, they were the court.
Okay.
Now, many people used to say like that after like what to say morning, myself only went to the court and I have given the statement, then only police caught them. This nothing is like that. They themselves that time itself got arrested and they were inside the jail.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did your family, handle all of this? You see, your parents of the new biological parents of the new birth, how did they handle all of this? I mean, it would have been a
No,
lot of
they were
difficult.
quite anxious that if myself might have gone to that past life and past parents, it will be quite difficult for them. So during my studies also, I most studies I completed from Tamil Nadu only. So they never allow me to be there in Agra. Like that only they used to avoid me to take there also. They never allowed me to be there in Agra like that.
So looking back, how do you feel about this entire experience today?
No, no, I feel like it was like God grace. I know I remember everything because of God grace only. Remaining past is past. If I am keep on recalling that, it used to sometimes disturb me a lot. So I have to take my personal care of my present family only. That's all.
Okay, so devotees, if you have any questions, please put in the chat. If you have any questions, please raise your hands. We'll take a couple of questions. Sir is busy, so sir has to leave quickly. So we have to take some questions. So we'll take some live questions, and then we will ask sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So yes. So okay, we'll take some questions from Lakshmi Devi Mataji. Yes, Lakshmi Devi Mataji. Yeah. What's your question?
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
At the age of 6 years, he went there now, ఒరిజినల్ ఫ్యామిలీ. వాళ్ళ పిల్లలు ఈయనను రికగ్నైజ్ చేసినారా, వాళ్ళు ఎట్లా రిసీవ్ చేసుకున్నారు ఈయనను?
Okay, okay. Her question is at the
అప్పుడు
age.
వాళ్ళ ఏజ్ ఎంత ఉంటుంది?
Okay. So Mataji's question is, so when you met your previous life children, did they recognize you? And what is their age? And what's the age gap between
No,
you
no,
and your children?
they did not recognize me because there is a quite difference in my past face and now.
Hmm.
I only recognize them.
Okay. You
Yeah,
recognize
yeah.
them. They were not able to
వాళ్ళు
recognize.
యాక్సెప్ట్
No, no.
చేశారు.
Yes. వాళ్ళు accept చేశారంట Mataji. Yes. Okay.
Hmm.
Fine. Okay. Next question. Lakshmi Mataji. Lakshmi
థ్యాంక్ యూ
Mataji.
ప్రభుజీ.
Thank you. Lakshmi Mataji, please ask your question. Unmute చేసుకోండి. Please ask a question. Lakshmi Mataji.
థ్యాంక్ యూ
What's your
ప్రభుజీ,
question?
దండవత్ ప్రణామాలండి. హరే కృష్ణ.
Hare Krishna.
Oh.
ఇప్పుడు మనం ఈ జన్మలో చేసిన ఫలితాల ప్రకారం వచ్చి నెక్స్ట్ జన్మలో మనం ఎలాగ పుడతాం అనేది మనకు తెలియదు అంటున్నారు కదండి శాస్త్రాల ప్రకారం. దాన్ని బట్టి ఈయన పూర్వజన్మలో ఏం చేశారు మానవ జన్మ రావటానికి?
ఓకే,
అది
మనం అదే స్పిరిచువల్ క్వశ్చన్స్ మనం తర్వాత తీసుకుందాము.
ఓకే ఓకే
నార్మల్
అంటే
క్వశ్చన్స్ చదువుదాం.
ఆయన ఏం చేసేవారండి స్పిరిచువల్ గా పోని మానవ
ఆయన
జన్మ
స్పిరిచువల్ గా ఏం
రావటానికి?
చేసేవారు కాదు. సో ఓకే, ఐల్ ఆస్క్ హిమ్. సో ద
ఓకే
క్వశ్చన్
ఓకే
సార్,
ఓకే
Yes,
థ్యాంక్
sir.
యూ
Yes.
థ్యాంక్ యూ
question is,
ప్రభుజీ.
so the question by the devotee is that what did you do that you remember the past life? That is the question. What was it
No,
that
no,
did you
I
do anything?
haven't did anything. Maybe my past karmas was quite right. That's why only I remember. Or maybe I have been so dead at the age of 20 years old. That's why only I remember. Like some, what to say, I haven't attained the Jivan Mukti. Maybe in this birth I may attend the Jivan Mukti. That's why only I am remembering.
Okay sir, thank you. Okay, Sridevi Mataji, please ask your question. Sridevi Mataji, sorry, unmute yourself, sorry. Again. Sridevi Mataji, unmute yourself, please.
థ్యాంక్ యూ ప్రభుజీ. హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ. ఇప్పుడు ప్రభుజీ గత జన్మలో తను అలా ఉన్నారు కదా, ఆ వర్క్ చేసుకుంటూ టీవీ అదే రేడియో షాప్, ఇప్పుడు అదంతా కూడా వారికి ఆ వర్క్ అంతా కూడా గుర్తుందా ప్రభుజీ? ఎలా చేయాలి,
Okay,
రిపేర్స్ వచ్చిన
sure.
అలాంటివి?
Yeah, good question. So, okay, sir, the question is, so in your previous life, you had a, radio shop, right?
Yeah.
TV shop. So,
Yes.
do you remember all that work? You know, how to take care of the TV, radio, driving, whatever, and when you were young? Do you remember all of that even now?
Yeah, yeah. At the age of like what to say, 6 year or I think so 7 years, they examine me like that way. Like if this is the car, if you know, previously you used to ride the car. So now could you please ride this car? So many things I did, but and one more thing, I haven't been to the school and all. At that time, I used to speak English very well.
So even though you did not go to school, you started speaking English.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, amazing. Okay, so Sumantra Mataji, I think we have a question. Yeah, please unmute yourself. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
It must be very difficult to remember past. Like it really gets jumbled to know that this is the parents, this parents. How difficult was it? How difficult was your journey? And do you have any photos, like of your past? And when you had a present wife and a next family, it must be really jumbling. So what did you go through? I mean, and now do you only concentrate on your family, or like it still comes back to you, or do you still get past recessions?
Hello.
Hanji.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can I speak?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hanji.
Yeah. Actually, that time I was like a child. I have got what to say, like so much of feeling about them, as I have been like quite elder and mature in my life. Then only I realized that if I am be with that past family, is going to be hurt me a lot. Why? Because like my first priority is to be with my present parents. If I am keep on going over there, and that like what to say, many sometime I used to get upset also, like I have got that family also. But at present scenario, as I am quite mature also, I never used to be with them. Like I taking care of my present family only.
Okay. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Okay, so here is one question. How did your parents, wife, and children from previous life react when they got to know that you belong to them? What was their first reaction? What did they tell
They
you?
were like
after
what
getting
to say, they examined me in many ways. They were also saying like, anyhow, whatever has happened, you are belong to our family only. Whenever time permits, you please come here, stay with us. If you have any financial, what you say, assistance, if we can provide you any financial assistance throughout the life, we can help you. And my father said like that the property has been divided into like our brothers only. If you want anything, definitely we will provide.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay, so we have another question here.
Yes.
Do you feel peaceful? Are you able to peacefully sleep because you have past memories also? You have the load of the previous life memories also. This life also to handle, so much to handle. We are not able to handle one life here.
Previously, sir, these things used to disturb me a lot because it's living in duality is quite difficult. And nowadays, I am quite managing, as I am always like used to be away from Agra. As I said previously, like I studied in Tamil Nadu. So most of the time I spent there. After that, I got a chance to serve in Banaras Hindu University, Kasi. Then mostly about I'm myself only avoiding not to be there, because if I'm quite keep on remembering that not going to help me a lot, it's going to disturb me only.
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
so we have a question from Saurav. Saurav, can you please ask the
Yes,
question?
yes, Prabhuji. So, what impact or feelings do you experience in your present life after recycling or reflecting on your past, on the past?
At present, I am 42 years old. No feeling, nothing. My first priority to take care of my present family, because feeling were there. I know very well. It was like up to 10 or 12 or 15 years of age. Now I don't have. Anyhow, whenever I but got a chance, I used to go there, meet them, just what to say, speak with them, and used to come back.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have another question here from Pradeep Ramachandran Prabhu. Pradeep Prabhu, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for this opportunity, and Jai Krishna. I'm just wondering, typically one hears a lot about, unfinished karma from the previous birth. So, did you feel something like that? Like you have unfinished things from your previous birth, which is today driving some of your purpose in life? Something like
Yeah,
that?
maybe I have been died in 22 years of age, like what to say, it was like we can consider as a akal mrityu or unnatural death. So some what to say work has been left untreated. or undone. That's why only I have been like what to say, but having my past memories.
You're
Okay.
not able to necessarily. Okay.
Yeah, you want to continue the question? You have any follow-up question?
Yes, just
Yeah,
just
please.
a quick one, just like that.
Sure.
So, I mean, my question was, one is that, but is there anything specific you remember from your previous birth that you are now taking up as your unfinished thing? I mean, that's driving your purpose in life.
See, previous words, I was a businessman. At present, I am serving to the humanity. As I am in a teaching profession, maybe something left which I could not able to do in past life. Now I am doing. That's it.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Oh,
Thank you.
welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Jonna Sudarani Mataji, can you please ask your question? Jonna Sudarani Mataji, unmute చేసుకో.
హరే
Yes,
కృష్ణ
please.
మాస్టర్
Hare
ప్రభుజీ.
Krishna. Yes.
పాస్ట్ లోను ప్రజెంట్ లోను సిమిలర్ గా ఉన్న గుణాలు ఏంటి మా ప్రభుజీ?
Okay, so the question is, do you have any similarities between your past life and current life with
Yeah,
respect
yeah.
to
Previous
personality?
that whenever my both of like my past and present wife used to meet, no, they used to tell like you are a quite anxious like like your previous birth, and you are a short temper like that only. Nothing more than that.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, Dhanalakshmi Mataji, Hare Krishna. Please ask your question. Dhanalakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Able
Hare
to
Krishna.
hear?
Yes, yes,
Able
please.
to hear.
Yes, yes, we are able to hear. Ask your question.
Hare Krishna. Namaskaram, Prabhuji.
Namaskar.
My question is he able to remember his in utero life?
What is that?
Uterus, in the uterus,
Yeah, yeah.
during gestation.
Okay. Are
No,
you
sir.
yeah.
Yeah, madam, nothing is like that. As myself also a medical student, so that time the first baby, the first respiration is going to generate after immediately after the birth. So previously, I know very well that remembrance will not be there. As I grown like 4 years and 5 years, from that time I started speaking. That much only I remember.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, sir's story I will explain. Okay, sir is in a little bit of a hurry. So, we'll take quick questions and let sir go, and then we'll have a discussion about sir's story, and then we'll have a follow up on Gita insights. Okay, let's take quick questions. So, Parandam Prabhu, please unmute and ask your question.
Sir, you said that at an age of 6, you were already having the past, the knowledge of your past life. So, in the present life, did you meet within some accident or something happened by which you started remembering your past life, or by default you got that info?
No accident, sir. Nothing by default. Only when I was 5 to 6 years old. No, I started talking as soon as I started speaking. I always used to complain to my parents. See, this is not my home. You are not my parents. You are not my sister. You are not my brother. There are big home uh, in Agra. I need to go there. This is not my family. I during my childhood I never give acceptance to my present family. I always used to complain, I need to go there, that's all. And suddenly, whenever the time purpose, I got a chance, I used to pack my luggage, I used to pack my cloth and all, and I started running on the road. I am going to my that family. That much like quarrel I used to do with my present family.
Okay, thank you, sir. So,
Yes.
Deepthi Mataji, can you please ask your question?
Hare
Yes.
Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare
can you
Krishna.
hear me?
Yes, please. We can
Uh,
hear you.
Toran sir, I just wanted to know, in your present life, did you meet those, those people who killed you?
Yeah. His name is actually Balveer Singh. When I was like 8 to 7 years old, he came to my native. He in front of me realized that whatever I done as per by the like law, I got like what to say got punishment. So now the thing is many thing is disclosed which I cannot say here in this online platform. Whatever what and all is happened, but I met them once.
My question was that when you met him at the age of 7 and now today, what
Yeah.
is the difference in your reaction? Did you hate him? Did you feel like killing him back? Or
See,
do you have that feeling of forgive and move on, that kind of feeling?
No. As soon as after looking at him, I ran away from my home because I was quite alone on that day. Then I asked my elder brother, please come along with me. The guy has come to our home who has been killed me in my previous birth. Then they both of them talk each other. He was saying that kindly excuse me, whatever I have done, that as per the court, as per the law, I got the punishment also. Now I am happily or peacefully living my life. So now also whenever time permits, I used to go Agra. If I found him, I used to speak with him. No, like nothing like anything like I am having some revenge on him, like why he has done something. That because it's the past is past.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank
we have a question from Lata Mataji. Please ask your question.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, guest. I have one question. Actually, you are in your previous birth, you are resided at Andhra.
No,
No,
nothing.
Agra.
It's
Agra.
Agra, Uttar
Agra, not
Pradesh.
Andhra.
So, do you speak that language? Do you speak that language, Hindi?
Yeah. That is not Hindi. We can say like it's a mother tongue of Lord Sri Krishna,
Okay.
Braj Bhasha.
Okay.
Brajbasha. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, sir, now you are residing at which
No,
state?
I am in Patanjali University, Haridwar, Swami Ramdev ji.
Okay. So both the languages you are managing. In previous birth, what language you are speaking is aware, right?
Madam, I am quite familiar with Tamil also. Kannada, I can understand because I studied from JSS.
Previous birth, I'm asking about your previous birth knowledge.
No, previous birth, I studied from Dehradun Public School, Doon Public School, Dehradun. It's
Okay,
nearby
Dehradun.
Haridwar only, yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Nishanta Mataji, you have a question. Can you please unmute and ask?
ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ
Hare Krishna.
ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ
ಕೇಳಿ.
ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಶೂಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೀಬರ್ತ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ
Sir, the question is, when you were shot, they said that there's a birthmark that you have here. Is that still present right now? You still have it or not, the birthmark?
Yeah, it's visible. Here I have got the birthmark. They compared this birthmark through my past, like what to say, postmortem report, BBC Peoples.
Okay.
But still I am having that, no problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆಯಾ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ
ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಇದೆ ಅಂತ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. He's showing it, no? Yes.
ಓಕೆ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ.
Yes. Nishanta Mataji done, right? So, okay. Fine. Anybody else? Lata Mataji, what's your question?
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ ప్రభుజీ చనిపోయారు కదా మా ప్రభుజీ పూర్వ జన్మలో. తర్వాత అది ఆ జర్నీ గుర్తుందంట ప్రభుజీ, అంటే ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళారు చనిపోయిన తర్వాత?
ఆయనకి ఏమి గుర్తులేదంట. So the question is, do you remember what happened exactly after the death? Do you remember anything after death?
No, nothing.
After, journey.
Previously, like up to like 7 or 8 or 10 years age, I was quite remember little bit about that because many researchers or many paper has been published by University of Delhi, University of Virginia, University of Northern British Columbia. At that time, I used to tell that now at present scenario, I don't remember anything.
Right. Thank you. So we'll take question from Janavi Mataji. Janavi Mataji, can you please ask your question? Janavi Mataji. Yes, please.
తెలుగులో చెప్పేదా ప్రభుజీ?
చెప్పండి.
ప్రభుజీ ఆయన 20 years కి డై అయ్యారు కదా, సో when did he take his rebirth again?
Okay,
After how many years?
Yeah, Prabhuji, sir, can you please give us a little bit of details about at what age were you shot dead and when were you born again?
At the age of 20 years, like August 1983, I have been shot dead. Then now, once again, my rebirth is like 12/12/1983, after like 4.5 months or 5 months. At the age of 20 years, I shot dead.
Okay, thank you. So Jagannatheshwari Mataji, please ask a question. Jagannatheshwari Mataji, Hare Krishna. Yeah, please ask your question.
Because you're able to remember your past life, in any way was that helpful for you to make
better decision in this life, like how life is precious, and how do you wanted to utilize this life in a better way, or any lesson, Prabhu, you learn?
Yeah.
Hello.
Sir, I'll repeat the question. The question was, did your past life experience, remembering your past life, help you in any way that you learned some lesson that, to understand how important life is, and did that help you in that way, is what Mataji is
See,
asking.
in my past life, sir, I have got like quite like wrong karmas, many things I did because which I cannot disclose to you. And now, as my karmas were not right, though I got this rebirth, once again, God has given me the time to attain the Jivan Mukti. It's helped in many ways, and I always remember that, or myself keep in mind, if I am doing anything wrong, that is going to harm me. So, as this life, my profession is, I am in a teaching profession, so I am doing my, like what to say, duties well, performing right karmas, because wrong karmas I know very well. It once again I may, like what to say, it may disturb me, it may get something.
Okay, thank you, sir. So Premai has a question. Please ask a question, Premai Puja.
Hare Krishna, everybody. So Toran Singh, sir,
Yes,
you
sir.
said at the age of 20 you were murdered by your friends, right?
28.
28.
Yeah.
28. So why did your friends kill you? I mean, was there any enmity? What is that thing that made them to shoot you?
Madam, behind that, they were my close friends only. Behind that, many reasons are there. If I am opening that at this social media platform, it may disturb my past family. That's why I never used to speak regarding that.
Okay.
Yes.
But you never got any doubt that they can do such thing?
No, I openly, my father said, my previous father, no, he disclosed me why they had sorted me down. He disclosed to me. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So let's take question from Bhavika Mataji. Bhavika Mataji, please ask a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
My question is that were you spiritual in your previous life, and what about this life?
Sorry to say, ma'am, I was not spiritual in my past life, and I just now I said like my karmas was also not right, but maybe I got a chance in this life to perform right karmas. I was not spiritual anything, nothing is like that.
Thank you. Premai Kunti Mataji, please ask a question. Sorry, once more, unmute yourself, please. Sorry.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna with the guest. I want to know that after being murdered, is he yet afraid of death, or he's overcome death? Is that fear yet in him of being murdered anytime, or he has overcome it?
Sorry.
So, madam, sir, the question is: are you afraid of death, or have you overcome that fear of death, or how do you feel?
No, this word, like many people used to say, you have been died in 28 year of age. So this time also chances is there. So this time my father and my family, they doesn't allow me to get married in 20, and as I got married after 28 only. There was many people who astrologists also said like maybe this in this life also there is a chance for you to die. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Nirmala Mataji, your question, please. Unmute yourself, Nirmala Mataji. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam.
Dandavad Pranams.
Prabhuji, I have a question. Tarun sir, no,
Yes.
sorry, Toran Singh sir. Sir,
Yes.
now that you are taking classes and that you are a faculty in some university, Shayad Banaras, I don't know where.
Yeah. Previously, I was in Banaras Hindu University. Presently, I am in University of Patanjali, Haridwar.
अच्छा, सो वहाँ बनारस, यहाँ पतंजलि, सो दोनों में मेल खाता होगा. सो आप अपने स्टूडेंट्स को कैसे हैंडल करते हैं, क्योंकि नाउ दैट यू हैव बिकम वेरी पॉपुलर इन सोशल मीडिया एंड बीबीसी आल्सो हैव इंटरव्यूड यू एंड सो मेनी थिंग्स. हाउ डू यू हैंडल द
No, madam, like that was my past. and mostly in our classes we used to talk about the subject only.
Okay, okay,
So
but then no, 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 sir. हम हमारे जैसे और भी बहुत सारे students, they will be in the class who will be who would be very curious, since you are very popular in this media,
no,
social
no.
media.
See,
They will
whenever I am
suppose.
inside the class, they used to ask me like, "What happened, sir? Please disclose to us." Then I
Hmm.
always used to say, "Everything is there in social media. Everything is there in internet." If they want to hear from my own mouth, like from myself only, I never used to think like if I'm disclosing them, like it is going to be like what to say harm me or something like. Madam, today
Hmm.
this ISKCON, you people are taking my interviews. I have been gone through many, like what to say nowadays, like Karan Johar, he's making a web series on me. So
Hmm.
I never used to keep like anything like, or to think like if I'm not disclosing, if I'm disclosing. Sometime I know very well he used to disturb me quite little, but I never used to say like I will not tell anything to you. Nothing is like that. If they ask during classes, I will explain to them whatever happened, how it's happened, everything.
Yes.
Very kind of you, sir. Thank you, Dandavat Pranam.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lakshmi Ji Mataji, please ask your question. Lakshmi Ji Mataji.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ దండోత్
హరే కృష్ణ,
ప్రణామాలు.
దండోత్
ఆయనకు ఇప్పుడు ఆ ఫ్యూచర్ లైఫ్ గుర్తుండటం వల్ల ఏమి ఇబ్బంది లేదంటండి. ఈ లైఫ్ కి ఆ లైఫ్ క్రాష్ ఏం అవట్లేదంట, మధ్యలో క్లాష్ అవ్వటం అది ఆయనకి ఇబ్బంది ఏం అవట్లేదంట.
చెప్పారు ఆయన ఆన్సర్ దానికి. అంటే ఆయన కొంచెం ఇబ్బంది
నాకు
అయ్యింది
అర్థం కాలేదండి.
ఇంతకుముందు
అదే.
ఆయనకి ఇబ్బంది అయ్యింది. ఇప్పుడు
ఆ.
ఇంకా ఇబ్బంది ఇప్పుడు ఆయనకు అలవాటు అయిపోయింది ఇప్పుడు.
ఓకే ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ ప్రభుజీ. హరే కృష్ణ.
ఎస్, స్వప్న లతా మాతాజీ, హరే కృష్ణ. స్వప్న లతా మాతాజీ, ప్లీజ్ అన్మ్యూట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్. అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
హరే కృష్ణ.
Prabhuji, is the features are same or present and past, Prabhuji?
What is that? Features. Sir, the question is, are your features matching between the past life and the present life?
Nothing. No feature is matching nowadays because that was past. Now, after like what you said, in rebirth, this birthmark only I have. Apart from that, my face and feature, everything is quite different.
Okay, thank you very much.
And past life you are not a devotee, sir. Now you are a devotee.
No, that's
Sorry?
not a relevant question, Mataji. So, okay. Okay.
No, what she is asking, let me answer what is there in that.
Sure. No, she's saying past life, you were not a devotee. Are you a devotee now in this life? That's the question.
Now also, before marriage, I was like what to say, pakka nastic, like who doesn't have believe in what to say, God and all. At present, like present, I am having, there is some positive energy in the form of God who's taking care of us. Like I am following regularly. I used to perform puja and all.
Right, sir. Nice.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Anila Devi Mataji, please ask a question. Unmute yourself. Sorry, unmute again. Yes, Anila Devi.
No, he said that when he was young, he was mature, like then how he didn't enjoy his childhood at all, poor thing. Is it, sir?
So, is it that you did not enjoy your childhood because of remembering all this past life?
No, I enjoyed, sir, but like what to say, during my childhood, I have been like undergone many interviews, BBC people, and I don't think so any of the country left from there. I haven't met the people like BBC London also, then US also, and government of Holland. Like it was like quite horrible for me. Daily interviews, 2 to 3 hours, morning till evening, like that. People used to come. Now also, per day from morning till evening, I used to get minimum 4 to 5 calls. Like we will conduct an interview, we will come in on social media, some broadcasting we will do. Like that only still is going on.
Right. Right. So, Soumya Mataji, please ask a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a bit late to the program. I think the question is correct or not, I don't know, but I'd like to ask the question.
Please.
Yeah, in the past life, after the death, that he knows that what happened after the death, before the present. before he got the birth, what the past in after the death, did he regain anything or not?
So after death, what happened? Sir said, sir doesn't remember immediately.
Yeah,
Nothing,
in the
nothing.
movies they will show, no, like he can see when he goes to that locum or anything.
Yeah, just like in the movies, how they show you. Did you feel like you
Yeah,
were
that's the
taken somewhere or something? Do you remember any of that?
No, no, sir, nothing. Movies, what at all they used to say, like for the purpose of entertainment and popularity. But presently, I don't remember anything. At the age up to 10, I think so, I used to speak many things about that. Who was carrying my dead body as it was like August month, rain was so much, rain was there. So it was my unburned body has been thrown into the holy river Yamuna, like that. I used to say. But presently, I never haven't remember anything.
Now you're not able to remember that. Okay, thank you. Suguna Mataji, please ask a question. Yeah, Suguna Mataji, ask a question. Renuka Mataji, Swapnalata Mataji. Yes, ask a question.
Question is remembering past life. So, is there any advantage of in past life?
Okay, is there any advantage of remembering the past life? That's the question.
No advantage, sir. Always used to disturb me a lot. No, like any advantage I haven't got till date. But the thing is, as my memory is sharp during my studies, like once I read the chapter or read the page, I never used to forget that much. Like memory, I have got nice, sharp
Okay.
memory.
Prabhuji, I want to speak.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
want to
yes.
ask a question.
Yes, ask a question.
Can you remember your childhood teachers and students? And did you meet them and talk with them?
Past life.
Yeah.
No, nothing, sir.
In the school teachers, friends and all.
See, just I remember I studied like into the like what to say this Doon public school. Then one more thing need to want to say you the Sanjay Gandhi he was my classmate in this Rajiv Gandhi and Amitabh Chand they were like quite senior to us like 3 years. We all of them together studied there in Doon public school.
Okay. Did
Which
you
is-
meet any of them?
No, nothing. Never. But at present, this Menka Gandhi has nice relationship with my past life. They are having like what to say nice, what to say. They on an
Did you meet her?
no, never.
Okay.
Okay, Sumantra Mataji, you had any follow-up question? Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, like he like they say like according to what he's been saying, he's not Prabhu. Singh Sahib has not been a very religious person. He's not been a Krishna conscious person, but he's got to human life immediately after, and even he and the human life is also very quick. Like doesn't this go against what we usually learn? I mean, like it's just an exception, and when he's come back also, he's not like a big preacher or Krishna follower or something. So what is Kabas? It's just karma. Nothing. It's very jungling to remember past life, and then to come back and to remember what you've done, what good you've done. Even now, when you do a mistake and you come to know about it, it's very it's not really. It's really this thing. And now to remember your past, also to remember this, isn't it a little?
Yeah. So
I mean,
maybe,
understand what I'm
yes,
trying to put across.
sure, Mother, I got it. I think the question is like, how do we understand it in a spiritual perspective? Maybe we'll do one thing. After Sir leaves, we will have a discussion around this, and we'll try to discuss like what is the science behind this, what is given in Bhagavad Gita, and all that. We'll discuss that. Okay, is that okay? Yeah. So we'll take 2 more questions, and we will let Sir go. So Deepti Mataji, unmute yourself, please. Deepti Mataji. Okay, done. Arnav Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you for allowing me again. Toran sir, I just wanted to ask 2 questions. I'll ask it together. Like, what is the age gap between you and your children of past life? I don't think there is much age gap. And now, are they like your friends? Do you have fatherly feelings towards them? Or, like, if they are making any mistakes, do you feel like correcting them? Like, I just wanted to know if you still have that attachment with them.
Madam, age gap is like 4 to 5 years only. When I died, Ronu Singh was like 4 years old and Sonu Singh like 2 to 2.5 years old. And at present, as you know that I am staying away from them, so it's not possible for me to whatever the kind of mistake they are doing. But still, some feelings are there. But if I'm be with that feeling, it doesn't make any sense. Why? Because first priority for me to take care of my present son and wife, like that. Hello.
Does it answer your question? Okay. So we'll take the last question and then we'll let sir go. Jyoti Mataji, please unmute yourself and ask the question.
ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ.
Hare Krishna.
ನಂಗೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ ನೆನಪಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಕನ್ನಡ ಕೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ನಾನು.
ಕೇಳಿ,
ಇವರಿಗೆ
ಕೇಳಿ.
ನೆನಪಾಯ್ತಾ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವ್ರು ಹಿಪ್ನೋಟಿಸಮ್ಗೆ ಒಳಗಾಗಿ ಇವರ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದ ನೆನಪಾಯ್ತಾ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಇವರೇ ಸ್ವತಃ ನೆನಪು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರ ಅಂತ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದ್ದು?
The question is, do you remember naturally or did you go through any kind of hypnotism or anything to remember your past life? Did you do some
Nothing,
past life
sir. As
regret?
soon as I started speaking, I remember everything naturally. I haven't been to anything like hypnotism expert or something like that. Nothing like that. I remember everything naturally as I started speaking at that time.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Prabhuji.
So
Thank you. Hare
okay.
Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Toran sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank
We would
you
like to
very
thank you heartfully from through ISKCON Sheshadripuram. So thank
Yes,
you
sir.
very much for joining. So
Thank
you
you,
can leave for now. Thank you very much. We'll have a spiritual discussion. We'll tell you a story and we'll have a Gita insights around this right now. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, devotees. Now, so I'll just tell you the story, okay, what has happened so far. Okay, let me tell the story quickly. So let's hear the story first and let's recollect what's given in Bhagavad Gita and try to connect the dots. Okay, what's happening. So everything we'll try to do that. Okay. So here is the story very quickly explained. So in 1985, okay, in a village called Bad, which is 17 kilometers from Agra, a boy named Toran Singh, also known as Titu Singh, began speaking very clearly even before he turned 2. And being the youngest in the family, he was it was a very concerning thing for the parents. And because he started saying some strange things. He would tell his father that, he has a wife to take care, he has children, and he used to say that, why am I staying in this poor house? I have a nice car with me, and why is that my wife is very having a lot of saris, like that, and why don't you let me go to Agra? And then he frequently told his parents that his parents were not his real parents, and that his mother and father lived in Agra, and he would suddenly cry and say that, I want to go back to home, like that. Right. So after hearing everything, they thought, okay, what do we do now? So at 1988, at the age of 5, Titu started to share some very specific details. So he started saying that his real name is Suresh Verma, and he had a wife named Uma, and he had 2 sons named Romu and Som. So his father's name was Chanda Bharati, and he also started saying that he had a bungalow in Agra and a shop called Suresh Radios in Sadar Bazaar. So, and he also described that he was shot in his head while returning home one evening in his car. So he even described his funeral rites, saying that his body was cremated and his ashes were immersed in Yamuna river. So at the first, family ignored all these stories. They thought it must be a story, he's a child, he's just speaking something randomly. A 5-year-old recollecting, talking about his wife, children, death was beyond normal for them. Okay. So, and then this word spread throughout the village, and many thought that maybe Titu was possessed with some kind of a ghost. So then his behavior became increasingly mature, and he started behaving and acting like an adult. And then he packed his bag and he insisted to, leave his house. He was threatening that I'll go to Agra on foot. So finally, they made contact with this Agra family, and they were able to find exactly that shop that he was describing, that house, that family that he was describing. and the details were matching. So then what happened is like Ashok, he invited Uma's family to visit their village and see if Titu could recognize them. So Uma's family came, and when they arrived, Titu Singh, he ran to them and embraced them, calling them his parents. That was his parents. And he became very shy when he saw his wife, and he started behaving like a husband and asking her to sit beside him, right? He also mentioned about some specific details which only he and his wife knew. That is exactly one day before he was being murdered, he spoke about those details. So they wanted to verify his claims, because this murder case was already very popular in the newspapers. They thought, okay, he must be making up something. He read the newspaper. But then they did several tests. Like, for example, what they tried to do was, when he was coming by car to Agra, this child Titu Singh, they tried to steer away from the Suresh radio shop. But then he said, no, why are you going and taking a right? You're supposed to be taking a left here, because my shop is there. So his test was passed. And in another test, he was asked to identify his sons among so many children. So he was asked to identify his sons. So Titu Singh could successfully and correctly, accurately identify his children. And then this case was taken up by some researchers like Professor N.K. Chadda and Dr. Antonio Mills, who is a colleague of the famous reincarnation researcher Dr. Ian Stevenson. So then they made a lot of observations, and then they came to a conclusion that this is a specific reincarnation case. So what is stunning is Titu even identified one of the two shooters as one of his former business associate. But then, yeah, the media says that, the case was reopened and then the judgment was delivered after Titu Singh recognized the murderers. But just now we saw his testimony that it was not the case, and the murderers were caught immediately after killing the previous Suresh Verma. So yeah, the researchers have documented this everywhere. BBC has done a documentary. So many podcasts have been done, so many research, all of them, and it has been successfully passed. I mean, there is no external motive for Mr. Toran Singh here, because he's not even, he's Dr. Toran Singh. So he is actually a PhD graduate, and he's working as a professor in Patanjali University. So he doesn't need any of these kind of fame, and he started to give interviews after a long time. When he was young, he used to give a lot of interviews, but after almost a gap of 40 years, he's 43 right now. Now he started to do his things. Now we have seen the life testimony here, a case of reincarnation or the rebirth. So now is the question, the unanswered question that, what is it that rebirth actually means, and how do we connect it with Bhagavad Gita? So let's go to Bhagavad Gita and dwell into this subject. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and we'll talk a little bit about this. Okay, this is very interesting. So stay back. So here is Bhagavad Gita in front of me, and I'll go through some specific verses to tell you what exactly it means to be born again. So Bhagavad Gita contains 18 chapters. This is considered to be a holy book, and this is the knowledge given by Krishna to Arjuna, which contains the topmost knowledge related to the Vedas. Okay, I'll take your questions. Please lower your hands, and I'll take your questions a little bit later. Okay, lower your hands for now, and then I'll take your questions a little bit later. First, let me complete. So here you see this chapter number 2, where Krishna explains about the soul. So in the chapter number 2, if you scroll down, you will see from the verse number 16 to verse number 25, Krishna explains about the eternity of the soul. So particularly Krishna here says that as a person puts on new garments, giving up the old ones, the soul similarly accepts new bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. You see, just like, we change our dress. Okay, when this dress is torn, okay, when it's not suitable for wearing, what do? I'll just change this dress, throw it and get a new dress. Similarly, the soul is eternal. There is no death for the soul, and we are all souls. And then the soul immediately accepts a new body. You see, in the case of Titu Singh, in the Suresh Verma case, he was shot dead, right? So when he was shot dead, the body is no longer suitable to be living. that is no longer suitable to be living. So therefore the soul will take a new body. Okay, volume is low. Is my volume low? Hello, Hare Krishna. Are you able to hear me? Okay, so yeah, let us continue. I'll speak a little louder. So the next point is, Krishna explains here, if you see in this verse number 27, it is clearly explained, Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. So that means one who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death, one is sure to take birth again. And therefore, in your unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. So this knowledge about the soul is something that is present only in Bhagavad Gita. You can't find this knowledge in any kind of a scientific literature, or in fact, in any literature in the world, you will not have this knowledge about the soul. So this is the identity. Krishna is explaining what happens after death, what happens to the souls, and he is telling very clearly that the person, the soul within the body can never be killed. You see, Suresh Verma was killed, but not the soul. The soul cannot be killed. So that's what Krishna is explaining, right? And then now let us go to the topic where what happens after death. Now we understand, in Bhagavad Gita it is explained that we are not the body, we are the soul. And what does Krishna say? What happens at the time of death? And what is it that we are supposed to be doing at the time of death? And why do we get a different types of bodies? That is explained in various chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Particularly, we'll go to the chapter number 6. So we'll go to the chapter number 6. And sorry, chapter number 8. We'll go to the chapter number 8. So now the question here, Arjuna is asking a question. What happens after death? Something like that. Okay. And then Krishna explains here very clearly. This is very interesting. Okay. He says, whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. So what does that mean? So that means at the time of death, if you remember something, you will get that kind of body. Based on the consciousness that we have at the time of death, we will get the similar body. So it is all about at the time of death what somebody is remembering, because it's a very crucial moment. That's the crucial moment when you are supposed to be thinking. So what is Krishna's recommendation here? Krishna's recommendation here in Bhagavad Gita is this: whoever at the end of life quits his body remembering me alone at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. And why is Krishna saying that? Krishna is saying that you are supposed to be thinking about God. At the time of death, you should be thinking about God. You should not be thinking about anything else. If you think about anything else, you will be getting a different kind of a body. But when you think about God, when you think about Krishna, you're going to get that state where you'll have to not take birth again. And therefore, the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, the conclusion is, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. That means, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. So this is the message of Bhagavad Gita, dear devotees. The thing is, see, life is short, human form of life is very short, and there are 84 lakh species of life, and based on the kind of thought process we have at the time of death, we are going to get a different kind of body. And therefore our duty is to follow this instruction of Krishna, that you may be doing whatever you're doing, but you have to be always thinking about Krishna. You have to be always thinking about God. So that way, at the end moment when we are dying, so that moment when that comes, you will be able to remember Krishna and go back to Godhead. And then what is the benefit of going back to Godhead? Krishna explains here that after reaching that material world, that spiritual world, here it's written, they never return to this temporary world which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. So this is the actual, we are connecting the dots. Okay, what happened, in the case, we first of all saw that we are not the body, we are the soul, right? The soul has no death. And what happened afterwards is that after death, if you remember Krishna, you will go back to Godhead, and then you will not have to return to this material world, because coming back to material world is suffering again. Because all the planets in material world are places of misery where repeated birth and death takes place. But one who attains to my abode never takes birth again. So anybody who goes back to Krishna's abode never takes birth again. Therefore, we have to be following the instruction of Krishna. And how is it decided that which body we should get? That is also given in Bhagavad Gita. It is said, Karanam Gunasangosya Sadasad Yonisu Janmasu. So the Karana is Gunasanga. Based on the kind of consciousness that we associate with, we get different type of body. Okay. So this is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is explaining and concluding Arjuna that life is, don't take life for granted. Life is temporary, body is temporary, world is full of suffering, but the soul is eternal. And the soul, our duty is to always remember Krishna while doing our prescribed duties, so that at the time of death we are able to remember Krishna and go back to that eternal world which has no return. Okay. So now we'll take some questions and we'll have some discussion. I know you have a lot of questions. Now one of the questions we'll handle here is, the question was, if Suresh Verma was not a spiritual person, how did he have remembrance of the previous birth? Right? So we all have heard a lot of stories, right, from Srimad Bhagavatam, that anybody, who is spiritual, they remember the next life. They remember the next life. Like, for example, the story of Bharat Maharaj. I'll tell you the story of Bharat Maharaj. So Bharat Maharaj, the story is that there was a very great king called Bharat Maharaj. And then he wanted to retire early. So he retired and he went to the forest. And he was always doing spiritual activities so that, he can go to the higher planetary system, go back to Godhead. So, but then later what happened is, he came in touch with one deer. So when he saw the deer, he got associated with the deer and then started to become very attached to it. And then at the time of death, he thought about the deer. And can you guess what happened when he died? Any guesses? Type in the chat. So after thinking about the deer at the time of death, Krishna, we saw whatever you think at the time of death, you're going to become that. That's what Krishna is saying. Okay, forget about what the movies say. So we are not in the movie world. Forget about what the serials say. We'll hear what Bhagavad Gita says. So he became a deer. So he thought about deer and he became deer. And then, just like, Suresh Verma had, Titu Singh had the remembrance of the previous life. He had the remembrance that, I'm not a deer. I'm actually Bharat Maharaj. And then what happened was, after that he died, he died as a deer, and then he was born as Jada Bharata. Right? He was born in a pious family. And then from there, he was spiritually enlightened. And he always thought about Krishna. He did not get into any material things and he went back to Godhead. So this is the case study that we hear. So now the question is, how is it possible? How do we understand that Suresh Verma, who was who was not so spiritual person, actually he was a gangster. And he's not exactly a gangster, but he was a smuggler. That's what the documentary says. He was a smuggler. He was doing smuggling and he was doing a lot of criminal activities. So it may be a one-off case. It may be some exceptional case, or maybe we don't know. We can only speculate that maybe it is the blessings of some saintly person that he was able to remember his past life. In any case, maybe he is here to give a testimony to all of us to increase our faith, in this spiritual knowledge. Maybe that's the reason why he is here, right? Okay. So we'll take some questions now. When people die, like in accident or crash, how will they remember God or anyone? That's a nice question. How will you remember God at the time of crash, right? So that's a very valid question. It's not possible that, when you are in an accident, you may be remembering God or something like that, right? That's very much valid. So that's the reason why Krishna is saying it's a practice, sadhana. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. That means Krishna is saying, always remember me. Practice remembering Krishna first now, right now. So that, simple test. When you fall down, okay, when you trip suddenly, what is the words that are coming out of your mouth? Just self-reflect. Are you thinking about Krishna? Are you saying Krishna? Or are you saying Mama or Papa? Or are you saying shit? What are you saying? So that's going to determine the consciousness where at the time of death what's going to happen. Okay, so that's why devotees are always trying to be Krishna conscious. Okay, let's take another question. you said, sir, you said that bodies are obtained because of conscious self. Can you tell me again? Yeah, that's a good question. So how is a body obtained, right? How is a body obtained? So that is explained here in Bhagavad Gita. I'll show you that. So here is verse number 13. I'm going to share my screen. Nice question. So how do you determine what is going to be the next body? How do I know? Can you tell me what's my next life? It's like that, indirectly, okay, asking that question, okay. So if you go to Bhagavad Gita, okay, chapter number 13, and go to the verse number 27, verse number 22. Yeah, here it is, verse number 22. You see, this is the explanation for what kind of body you'll get after death, okay. It says the living entity in material world, material nature, follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of material nature. This is due to the association with the material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among various species. Karanam guna sangosya sadasat yonisu janmashu. That means you will get a body based on association with the three modes of material nature. So based on the association with three modes of material nature, we'll get a different kind of a body. So now what is that different kind of birth that we may get based on three modes of material nature? That is explained in the chapter number 14. Okay, I'm doing kind of a crash course of Bhagavad Gita now here. Okay, just see here, there are three modes of material nature: mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna, and their explanation and qualities are explained in the chapter number 14. Here it is explained that when one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains the pure higher planets of greater sages. So when somebody dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to a pure higher planets of great sages. And then when one dies in the mode of passion, he takes the birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. That is, he'll get a human birth. So if we die in the mode of passion, we will get a human birth. And when one dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom. So here is the risk, dear devotees, that if without knowledge, if you are associating with the mode of ignorance, knowingly or unknowingly, there is a risk of taking birth in the animal kingdom. That is the danger. So that is the explanation which is given here. Okay, let's see some more questions now. Yeah, I wanted to ask Titu whether he had the same nature that he had from the past life. Okay, now Titu is gone, he's not here, so we'll not be able to ask him some question. Okay, Parandam Prabhu wants to say something. Okay, Parandam Prabhu, I'll let you unmute. If you want to say something, you can, I'll unmute you. You can add what you want to add. Please add. Yes, go ahead.
You can just read it out. I just wrote.
Yes, Prabhu, sure. So Parandam Prabhu is here saying, if you're not able to think about Krishna at the end due to any reason, Krishna will remember you at the crisis, but you have to do your homework. Right, that's an interesting one. Thank you. So let us say, in case by any chance somebody is in the ICU, somebody is unconscious, somebody is not able to have an opportunity to remember God, remember Krishna. At that point of time, Krishna remembers him, provided you have done your homework. That's what Prabhu is saying. That means if you have been a very good student, you see, even if you are not able to appear for the examination, the teacher will be ready to give you full marks or at least pass marks and pass you. That's what happens in the schools, right? A student is very sincere, coming to all classes, but on the last day he had some problem and could not come. Then the teacher will pass. Similarly, if you are sincere, if you properly do devotional service, remember Krishna all the time, so he will pass us. Yes, Anandani Mataji is saying, how did you said that many bad deeds, how come he has get human birth if he was not in ignorance? Was he not in ignorance? Yes, maybe he was in ignorance, that's true. But there is another rule also, that whatever you remember at the time of death, you will get that kind of body. So maybe at the time of death, he had this wish that, he wanted to, he was thinking about that consciousness that I have to come back. There is so much for me to be done here. In that consciousness, he got the birth again. And we don't know. He doesn't remember what is the good things that he has done. That's called Ajnata Sukruti. Ajnata Sukruti means we may have done some pious activities without our knowledge also. He is denying that he has not done any kind of pious activities, but that's not possible. Maybe he would have done something unknowingly. Maybe you try to help some saintly person, maybe you gave some donation to some saintly organization and you don't know when you did what. Okay. You don't have to exactly remember what has helped you. Hare Krishna. ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಜನ್ಮ ಈ ಶರೀರ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಯಸಿದ್ವಿ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಯಸಿದ ಅಥವಾ so this, yeah, the question here is, so that means that we have got this body here because in the past life we had something to do with our past karma and past consciousness. Yeah, that's right. So right now we have this body, I have this body, you have your body, and the reason why you have your body, I have this kind of body, is because of the consciousness at the time of death when we died in our past life. We don't remember exactly what happened. Okay, if a person is very good but not spiritual, will he get a human form? So I don't know what's the differentiation between good and not spiritual, because spirituality and goodness are, you know, the same. It's not possible that somebody can be good without being spiritual. At least as per Bhagavad Gita, it is not possible. Somebody who is not spiritual is not considered to be good. I'm sorry to say that. Okay, fine. Any other questions? So if you have any questions or any discussion, please raise your hands and we'll discuss. Okay, yeah, let's see. Deepti Mataji, yeah, please unmute, ask your question. What is it that you want to discuss?
Prabhuji, I had two questions.
Yes, please.
First one, I think you have already answered half, but still I want to ask, like, at the time of death, like not at the time of death, but overall throughout the journey of the life, we might have committed lot of like, you know, bad karmas. Okay, so before taking the next human birth, they say we have to go through many lower yoni before
That's right.
getting a human birth. So how come within 4 months itself he like, you know, came back into a human yoni? So I think you answered that question. My another question is a little bit complicated one.
Okay.
The thing is, when we are into Krishna consciousness and we are totally immersed in like, you know, love for Krishna, suddenly we will face a problem in life, a challenging situation, which is like, you know, Krishna knows where it pinches us the most and he will pinch us over there. And he will make us like, you know, keep him aside and think of that problem for at least for that short period of time. So after focusing on that problem, then you start, in my case, I was totally like, you know, I had given up all other desires and I was totally immersed in love for Krishna. But suddenly some other desires started popping up. Though I don't want. Now I am like, you know, I am dragging, I've been pulled by two different directions. One is Krishna and another is my desire. Now, how do I balance myself? How do I pull myself back to like, you know, like totally initially I was like, I had
Yes,
all other desires, I had thrown it in the dustbin.
I got your question. I got your question, Mataji.
Yeah.
So your question is, first part of the question is,
Yeah.
after taking to spirituality, how is it that I'm still getting material desires? Let me answer that question.
Yes.
So for this, the analogy is, let us say there is a rotating fan. Okay, you turn off the fan. So will the fan immediately stop, or will it be still turning?
It will be turning.
It will be still turning until it is going to come to a halt. So similarly, we have started the process now. We start Krishna consciousness. You stop this, you off the switch off the fan, so it is still going to rotate for a while until it is going to come to a halt. That's the first part of the question. Second part of the question, what should I do when the desire comes to me? So the simple thing is, Krishna explains this in Bhagavad Gita. Whenever your mind deviates, bring it back. It's like, you know, controlling a wild horse. Let us say there's a wild horse you want to tame. So whenever that wild horse becomes wild, you pull it back and then pull it back and bring it back to the track. Similarly, our mind is like a wild horse. Whenever it's deviating out of the path, pull it back, come back. Okay, come back again and again and again. That's the only solution. And third way I can answer your question is, the desires that you have to just make it, spiritualize it. That means whatever desire that you have, you make it Krishna conscious desire. That means you should think that, okay, I'm doing this desire for the pleasure of God. Something like that, okay? If you have a desire for your family, that your family should be doing well, you should think that, okay, I want my family to be good because so that it is like a service to God, so that all of my family can be God conscious. Something like that, okay? You have to spiritualize, you have to change the consciousness of your desire, and you can still have that desire. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
Hare
you so
Krishna.
much. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Sumantra Mataji, do you want to add something, or you have any question, or what is it that you want to share? Sumantra Mataji. Yes, unmute yourself, please.
Hare
Sumantra.
Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Just adding to the question she's asked, Yamunachari, he said, when I get the thought of sex, I spit. He's an acharya. Why did he say such a statement? Even at any age, there can be a downfall. The thoughts will come. We are from Janma, itna sense gratification. It is going to come. The test is we have to be strong. We have to surrender. They are bound. Maya is so strong. The moment you give her any room, Bharat Maharaj ko thoda sa room mila na. I mean, he was in a bhava state just next to Prema. He fell in love with the deer, and the deer became a deer. Shabarin Muni, he just saw fishes mating. He didn't even do the act. He just saw them, and he became a complete grasta, married 50,000 wives. So Mataji, this is going to come. We are living in a land where Maya is so strong. She's just waiting for an opportunity, but you've come back to Krishna conscious. You're falling down. You've picked yourself up, and I mean, we cannot throw everything into the dustbin. Kahin na kahin, there is sense gratification. I want my son to do well. I want to look good. The renunciation. We've not reached the perfect divine, pure devotee stage where we will not have it. So many times we fall. There is no shame. I've fallen. 30 years or 40 years of spiritual life has not been a very easy boat for me. I'm still not a very good devotee. Some take a long time, some take a short time. With so much of association, so much of Guru Maharaj's grace, I'm still not up to the mark. But I'm very proud. I'm still there in the line. I'm still clinging. It is a very slippery ground. I am still clinging. So Mataji, there koi sharam nahi hai. You don't have to feel bad. Just cling. The process of this philosophy is very, very, very clear and very true. It's not like other people, they take you for a ride. It is as it is. How much it is going to come, how much of Sukruti you're going to do, how much of endeavor you're going to put, how much of surrender you're going to put, is individual.
Okay.
It's really individual. I hope I'm not, I'm speaking out of experience, Prabhu.
Sure.
I'm openly, there are 200 people listening.
Oops, sorry. I unmuted. Can you mute yourself? Unmute yourself. Sorry.
So these are bound to happen. Just cling on to your guru, cling on to your mentor, cling on to Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Sumantra Mataji, for adding that. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Okay, so anybody has any questions? So please unmute yourself and ask your question. Arnav Prabhu, please ask your question.
Yes, Prabhuji, just one small question.
Yes, please.
After death, what is the gap for taking rebirth? No, in the case of this Toran Singh, it was 4.5 months.
Right.
Because he died in August and he took rebirth in December.
Right.
So is it? Can we cross verify with some scripture something?
Yes.
This is correct thing, or
Definitely.
it is different in different case like that?
Sure, definitely. A nice, interesting question. So the question is, what does our scripture say about this? What happens after death, right? So how much time does it take for getting the next body? So let's find out. So request devotees to be on mute. So we are talking about something very serious and very important here. So please be on mute, and then I'll show you something very interesting from our scriptures. Okay. So I'm going to Srimad Bhagavatam right now. Okay, this is Srimad Bhagavatam, and then this is called the Jantu prayers, that is the instruction of movements of the living entities. So what is happening is, under this, so what happens here, there is a description about what happens after death. Okay, in the previous chapter also there was a description. We'll come from here to here. Okay, so what happened? Okay, let us say what happened after death. So let us say after Suresh Verma died, what happened? What could have happened? So let us find out from this scripture. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the Kapila Gita. So here in this there is an explanation that, so based on the type of reactions or based on the type of karma that you do, you get a different kind of a body. So let us say if somebody is doing some ignorant activities or some wrong activities, so what happens to such a person is explained here. So it goes on and goes on and goes on and goes on. So at the time of death, here is explained, at the time of death, you see the messengers of the Lord of Death, the Yamadharmaraja, Yamadutas come, and then they pull the soul out of the body. And if a person is actually done some kind of mistakes, just like how a criminal is arrested by punishment by constables, that person will be taken by Yamadutas and will be dragged. So then they will have to go to the Vaitarani river, and they'll have to cross, and they'll have to go to the abode of Yamaraj, that is hell, within 2 months, and then there will be some kind of torturous punishments which will be given there. This is called the hell, and the different kinds of torturous punishments are explained based on different kinds of karma a person is doing. So after all of this, after having, let us see this, after having gone through that hellish planets, he'll have to go through the lower forms of animal species, and then prior to the human birth, and after, see, just imagine, first hell, and after going to hell, go through all the animal species, 84 lakh species of life, then get a human birth, but then Suresh Verma was very lucky. He didn't have to go through all of the animal species or have to go to hell. We don't know. He doesn't remember whether he went to hell or not. We don't know. We can't speculate. But after that, it is explained here, after all that happens, the process, under the supervision of the Supreme Lord, according to the result of the work, the soul is made to enter into the womb of mother through the particle of male semen to assume a particular type of body. This is given in the Shastras. Kapila Gita, you can see Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 31 chapter. Then there is a detailed explanation of how that sperm and ovum mix and how it forms a bubble, and the 10th night it becomes a plum, how it becomes like an egg, and then it is explained here within 4 months from the date of conception, all the body will be getting ready right now, and then the thirst, hunger, all of this will be coming. At the end of 6 months, it starts to move. So this is the explanation here. But now the question may come, in this case, how did it happen that Suresh Verma was killed in he was killed in 28th of August 1983, and Titu Singh was born in December of 11th 1983, which is hardly how much, September, October, November, December, hardly 4 months. How did that happen? That is something which will not be able to answer. I'll not be able to answer that, but this is the general route that people have to go through. If they are doing impious activities, they'll have to first go to the hell, then go to all the animal species of life, and then take a human form of birth, right? And then the human form of birth, again coming at that point of time, the human soul says, I take the shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then he starts to pray inside the stomach, okay? And then the human form gets birth. So after coming out, as soon as the baby is born, you see, the baby is born, the baby is crying inside the stomach, because he starts to remember, okay, just see this, it's written here. What happens is, he will remember his past life, okay, here, see, somehow or the other, that baby will start to remember the past life, okay, and then it will start to feel very bad about it. Here it is written, if the child is fortunate, he can remember all the troubles of his past of 100 births, and then he will start to pray God that this life I will change myself. I'll not be material. This time I'm going to be spiritual. Right? This life I'm changing. Okay, this is my promise. And then after doing so much of promise, the 10-month-old baby suddenly will be pushed down and come out and becomes forgetful of everything. Child falls on the ground and then loses all the knowledge and cries under the spell of Maya. The child starts to cry that, oh, everything is gone. I forgot everything. And again, the normal life starts and things go on. So in this case, I cannot specifically comment what exactly happened, but this is the science of reincarnation. Okay, this is what it is. Hare Krishna. So let's take another question. Pradeep Ramachandran Prabhu. Yes, please ask your question. Hare Krishna. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Now can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. The question I have is, I have heard, and this is pure hearsay, can't attach it to any scripture, but I believe the soul actually enters the physical body as a soul only in the last moment before the delivery. I don't know how truthful this is or not, and how right it is, but do you have a view of that, please?
I have a different perspective. Based on the Shastras, it is explained that the soul enters. So what happens after death is the soul enters into the grains, okay, and the grains will be eaten by the men, okay, and then the soul enters into the semen, and then it enters into the womb of the lady, and then it mixes with ovum, and that's how the progression happens. That's what the Shastra is saying. That's the Upanishad is saying. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes.
Because there are many times the child passes away even before birth, or
Yes.
at the time of birth, and all that. So sorry, I'm not able to connect to those, and I'm asking those questions.
Yeah, it's a good question. So sometimes even there is a stillborn baby born, right? Stillborn baby means the baby is dead even before being born in the stomach itself. Why? That is the previous karma. The soul has entered into the body of the woman, into the womb, but because of some previous karma, okay, suffering, not getting an opportunity to come out of this to this material world. So birth itself is a great opportunity. That's why we should be very thankful to our parents, and we should be thankful to the Supreme Lord that we have got this human form. It's all about how are we using this right now. So now that we have so many breaths, so many heartbeats, just count how many breaths we have taken so far, how many heartbeats have done so far. So what have we done, and how much have we remembered God? How much instructions of Krishna we are following? How much opportunity Krishna has given us? And he has given us the knowledge also. Bhagavad Gita, it's available. How much we are making use of it, right? Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. We'll go to the next question. Yes, Nishanta Pujari Mataji, keli question name prashna. Nishanta Mataji prashna keli.
ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ ಅವರು ಇವಾಗ ತಾನೇ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಬಾರ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು, ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆತ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು, ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೀಬೋರ್ನ್ ಆದ್ರಂತ. ಅದ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇಬಿಗೆ ನಾವು 5 months ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಜೀವ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅವಾಗ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ತೀರ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಅವ್ರು 4 ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ 5 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವ್ರದ್ದು ಆತ್ಮ ಅವ್ರ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪುನರ್ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಇಚ್ಛೆಗಳು ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಈಡೇರ್ಸ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಆತರ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅದು ಮಾಡಿದಾರ ಅಂತ.
ಹೌದು, ಆ ಥರ ಭಗವಂತ ಮಾಡಿರಬಹುದು. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಏನೇ ಒಂದು ಬೈಕೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಭಗವಂತ ತೀರಿಸ್ತಾನೆ. ಈ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ತೀರ್ಸಕ್ಕಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬರೋ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅವಕಾಶ. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಕರ್ಮ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕರ್ಮ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕರ್ಮ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಜನ್ಮ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆ ತರ ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ತರ ಬಂದಿದೀವಿ. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಒಂದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆ ತರ ಬೈಕೆ ಇತ್ತು ಹಿಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಭಗವಂತ ಆ ತರ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು.
ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಾಯ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಜನ್ಮನೇ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬಾಡಿನೂ ತಗೋಬೋದಿತ್ತು ಅವರು.
ಅದು ಅದೃಷ್ಟ. ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಜನ್ಮ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಅದೃಷ್ಟ, ಅದು ಭಗವಂತನ ಕೃಪಾ. ಅದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವ್ದು ಸಾಧುವಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಏನು ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಆ ಭಗವಂತನ ಸೇವೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅಜ್ಞಾತ ಸುಕೃತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ನಾವು. ತಿರುಪತಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಹುಂಡಿದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದುಡ್ಡು ಹಾಕ್ತಿವಿ, ಬಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾವಾಗ ಹಾಕಿದ್ವಿ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಕೆಲಸ, ನಾವು ಏನೋ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಅಜ್ಞಾತ ಸುಕೃತಿ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು, ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. ಎಸ್, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅನದರ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ಓಕೆ, ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಮೋರ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚన్స్. అక్షర సౌజన్య మాతజీ అదే ప్రశ్న ఏమడిగారంటే, ఎలా తెలిసింది మీకు అంటే భగవంతుడు మనకి ఇంకొక శరీరాన్ని ఎందుకు ఇస్తున్నారు, మన ఆశల్ని పూరించుకోవడానికి అని అడుగుతున్నారు. అంటే మనకి కొన్ని ఆశలు ఉన్నాయి కింద జన్మలో, మళ్ళీ ఆశల్ని కోరికల్ని మనం ఎంజాయ్ చేయడానికి ఇస్తున్నాడు అంటే, అవును, భగవంతుడు పరమాత్మ మనకి ఏం కోరిక ఉంటే దాన్ని తీర్చడానికి ప్రయత్నం చేస్తాడు. ఈ జన్మలో తీరకపోతే వచ్చే జన్మలో అది ఉంటుంది అన్నమాట. కాబట్టి కోరిక అనేది మంచిది కాదు, ఎందుకంటే కోరిక ఉందంటే జన్మ అనేది మళ్ళీ ఖచ్చితంగా దొరుకుతుంది. కాబట్టి మన కోరిక ఎలా ఉండాలంటే, భగవంతుడు సేవ చేయాలనేటువంటి కోరిక ఉన్నట్లయితే మనకు మళ్ళీ ఇంకొక జన్మ అనేది ఉండదు. ఓకే, హరే కృష్ణ. భావికా మాతాజీ, ప్లీజ్ ఆస్క్ ఏ క్వశ్చన్. భావికా మాతాజీ, ఆస్క్ ఏ క్వశ్చన్. So we'll take till 8 o'clock as scheduled, and at 8 we'll stop sharp. Okay, Bhavika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, my question is that we have heard that nothing goes with us, only the spiritual content, the memory of the spiritual content goes with us.
Correct.
Like no studies, nothing, we don't remember anything in the next thing. But in this case, it's not just about that memory that I was this and that. He remembered, he had a sharp memory and a few other things also, like the mark. So in spirituality, it is said that only our like chanting is counted, only these things matter. Then how are the other things also counting in this case?
Right. So the similar kind of a question was asked by Arjuna. Okay, let me share my screen in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, it's explained here. You see, when Krishna says that he instructed this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to the sun god, Arjuna says, how is it possible that you instructed this knowledge to sun god? How do you remember what you did in the past life? So here is very important point. Krishna says, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subduer of enemy. That means Krishna, when he takes different avatars, he remembers everything. Whatever he has done in the past, what he has dealt in the past, everything he knows. But us, we don't remember our past life or past to past life. Right? So Dr. Toran Singh Chahar, he remembered his past life, but he doesn't remember his past 100 lives, right? He remembered only past one life. So like I said, how he remembered, so what comes with us is only whatever spirituality that we do comes with us. Whatever money that we are earning doesn't come with us, right? Whatever spiritual activity that we do, God conscious activity that we do, only that comes along with us in the next birth. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, fine, let's go to the next question. Hare Krishna. Yes, Renuka Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. I want to ask one question. You are saying it is written in the Bharata Maharaja, Jada Bharata story, or I don't know if that happened.
Ask a question.
He was actually attached to the deer so much.
Yes.
So next birth he became a deer. So that attachment, even I have attachment with my sons, with my family. How to break it, Prabhuji? Is it possible to break that attachment? For me, at least, I tried my best. Though my sons are away from me, that attachment, if they get hurt, I get hurt. If they are happy, I feel happy. How to break that attachment, Prabhuji? I don't want to continue the same life in the next birth also. So how to break it?
How to break the attachment is that it is not an unnaturally we should try to break the attachment or something. Okay, by doing gradual Krishna consciousness, that is God consciousness, the way Krishna has given in Bhagavad Gita or all the spiritual literature, if you do it gradually, it disappears, the attachment. Just like the example is given like sun rising. So there is darkness before sunrise, but as the sun starts to rise, slowly it starts to dissipate the darkness. So that is how Krishna consciousness works. So it's not like a switch on that, I just turn off the button and then suddenly everything is gone. It's not like on and off kind of a thing. It takes a little bit of time. Just like I said, switch off the fan, it takes some time, it rotates and then comes to a halt. But then first thing is you have to switch off the electricity power to it. So that is Krishna consciousness. I mean, we are not saying, or nobody is saying, Prabhupada is not saying, Krishna is not saying, break all the attachments, etc. Become Krishna conscious. Become God conscious. See, there is one nice beautiful verse in connection with this in the canto 1 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in the prayers of Kunti Maharani, right? So the Kunti Maharani is actually praying here to Krishna. She is praying. So she is praying that I wish all the calamities happen again and again so that I can see you. Because if I see you, there will be no longer repeated birth and death. So there's no repeated birth and death if I remember you, if I see you. She's saying it's okay to get difficulties. And then Kunti Maharani is actually saying very similarly here. Okay, if you come down, scroll down, she will say that, I've got a lot of attachment with my family, Pandavas. But I want that, my mind always be thinking about you. Just like Ganga is flowing into the sea, I want my mind to be only coming to you. So like that, she will actually say that, please break my attachment towards my kinsmen. See this. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please therefore sever my ties of affection with my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. So this is the prayer that we have to do to Krishna. It's not unnaturally we have to stop, caring for our family or anything like that. When you pray like this sincerely, slowly, that will happen. Okay? Thank you. Hare Krishna. Let's go to the next question. Hare Krishna. Let's go to the next question. So we have something in the chat here. We have a question here. Anandini Mataji, Prabhuji, when you said about the science behind the soul, you said human life itself is a misery. Then why do we have the judgment from the god of death and go through different lower forms? Why will this happen? Okay, nice question. Human form itself is a misery. It's a miserable, because it's full of miseries. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that human life or any life, all forms of life are misery. This material world itself is a misery. Only spiritual world is full of happiness. That is very clear. Krishna has explained in Bhagavad Gita. So, but then the judgment happens because we have not followed the instructions of the Supreme. So it's very simple. Just like, there are citizens, there are some people who are doing their nice business, they are paying the taxes and they are doing well. There's no disturbance from the police department for them. But for those people who are doing unlawful activities, who are not following the law, who are breaking the law, who are not caring for the law, they are being punished, they are being sent to the jail. Similarly, if we have the law of the universe given by God, if we simply follow what God is saying, follow the law of the material nature, then we can happily go back to Godhead. We don't have to come back to this material world at all. Because we are being rebellious, we are rebelling against God. That's the reason why, Krishna is without any option, he's putting us in the custody of the police department, that is the Yamadharmaraj. And once in the department of police department will not handle very nicely. Similarly, Yamadutas or Yamadharmaraj doesn't handle very nicely. Okay, right. Lakshmi Mataji, you have any question? Any question on the Miku? Unmute just one. Hare Krishna. ప్రశ్న అడగండి లక్ష్మీ
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ దండవత్ ప్రణామం. అదే ఇందాక అడిగితే మీరు తర్వాత మాట్లాడదాం అన్నారు కదండి. ఎన్నో పుణ్యకారాలు చేస్తేనే గానీ నెక్స్ట్ జన్మలో మానవ జన్మ రాదు అంటారు కదండి భాగవతంలోను భగవద్గీతలోను. అది ఒకటండి. తర్వాత ఇప్పుడు ఈయనకి మన గెస్ట్ గా వచ్చిన ఆయన పేరు గుర్తులేదు, ఆయన
డాక్టర్ తోరన్ సింగ్.
తోరన్ సింగ్. ఓకే, ఆయన చనిపోయింది ఎప్పుడండి, పుట్టింది ఎంత గ్యాప్ ఉందండి మధ్యలో?
ఆయన చనిపోయింది వచ్చేసి 28th of October 1983. ఆయన పుట్టింది వచ్చేసి December 11th 1983. అంటే ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఒక 4 months గ్యాప్ ఉంది దాదాపుగా, అంతే తక్కువ గ్యాప్ ఉంది. జనరల్ గా అయితే 9 months గ్యాప్ ఉండాల్సింది. అదే మనం అందరం కూడా చర్చించుకుంటున్నాం. అది ఎలా అయింది,
అది ఎలా సంభవం అవుతుందండి? 9 months బేబీ అసలు కడుపులో గర్భస్థ శిశువే 9 months అంటారు కదా, 9 months. అట్లాంటిది 4 months లో ఎట్లా వస్తుందండి? అది అదొక క్వశ్చన్ అండి. ఈ రెండు
ఆ క్వశ్చన్ అది అన్సాల్వ్డ్ క్వశ్చన్ అండి. ఎవరైతే స్పిరిచువల్ వాళ్ళు రాస్తున్నారో వాళ్ళు అన్సాల్వ్డ్ క్వశ్చన్. ఇంతకు ముందు మేబీ ఇంకొక ఆత్మ ఉండిందేమో, ఆ ఆత్మని తోసి ఆత్మ వచ్చి ఉండొచ్చు అని సైంటిస్టులు రాశారు.
ఓకే
ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న ఆత్మని తోసేసి ఇంకొక ఆత్మ ఎంటర్ అయింది అని చెప్పడం వాళ్ళు రాశారు. అలా అయి ఉండవచ్చు అని వాళ్ళు కూడా రాశారు. ఇదంతా కూడా స్పెక్యులేషన్, మనకు తెలియదు. అంతా కూడా భగవంతుడి ఆధ్వర్యంలో నడుస్తోంది. ఏం జరిగింది, ఎలా
అంటే
జరిగింది,
భగవంతుడి ఆధ్వర్యంలో నడిచేదే కదండి. 9 నెలలు గర్భస్థ శిశువుగా ఉండేది భగవంతుడి ఆధ్వర్యంలో నడిచేదే కదా.
కానీ
అది ఎలా
అప్పుడప్పుడు
సంభవం
కొన్ని
అంటారు?
ఏదైనా జరగచ్చు, కొన్ని ఎక్సెప్షన్స్ కూడా ఉంటాయి కదా. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, షార్ట్ టర్మ్ బేబీ పుట్టినట్టుగా షార్ట్ టర్మ్ ఇచ్చి ఉండొచ్చు, త్వరగా పుట్టడానికి అవకాశం ఇచ్చి ఉండొచ్చు.
సెవెంత్ మంత్ లో పుడతారండి బేబీస్, చాలా వరకు 7th month లో పుడతారు. అలాగా అనుకోవాలి ఇంకా మనం.
అలాగే అనుకోవచ్చు. లేకపోతే ఇంకోటి మీరు అడిగారు ఏం పుణ్యం చేసుకున్నారు ఏంటో మనకు తెలియదు అంటే, ఆయనకు తెలియదు ఏం పుణ్యం చేసుకున్నాడు, ఆయనకు తెలియకుండా ఉండొచ్చు. ఆయన ఇందరి జన్మలో ఏదో అజ్ఞాత సుకృతి చేసుకున్నాడేమో, ఎవరికి తెలుసు. అదే చెప్పాను నేను, మీరు తిరుపతికి వెళ్ళి హుండీలో కొంచెం డబ్బులు వేసి ఉండొచ్చు, మీకు గుర్తుండకపోయి ఉండొచ్చు. లేకపోతే ఎవరైనా ఒక సాధువుకి సేవ చేసి ఉండవచ్చు తెలియకుండా, తెలుసో తెలియకో ఎప్పుడో ఏ జన్మలోనో చేసి ఉండొచ్చు, అది ఈ జన్మకు వచ్చింది అని అనుకోవాలి.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Yes. So, okay. So the question was, how do we understand that 4.5 month gap? When was it that he died and when was he born? So the answer was that he was born. He died in August 28, 1983. August 28th, and he was born in December 11, 1983. How many months is that? September, October, November, December. Hardly 3.5 months. But then the question is, we understand that it's supposed to be 9 months, but why is it not 9 months? That was the question number 1. The question number 2 was, what is the good activity that he has done in his past life that he remembers in the present life? That was the question number 2. So the answer that I gave was, I said that, see, we cannot say that, this is a general rule. Just like general rule is that somebody has to be born in 9 months, but sometimes there is premature baby, preterm baby also. So similarly, we don't know, there may be some exceptional rule that has happened for him. Or another explanation is, the scientists are saying that this is a case of a replacement reincarnation, that there was already a soul which was present in the baby and that was being replaced by another soul which maybe pushed it out. We don't know. That's a speculation. Okay. And regarding what is the good thing that he has done, when I spoke to Mr. Toran Singh also, he said, no, I'm not a good person. In the previous life, I was actually a bad person. I did a lot of bad things. Right? But the way we have to understand is, karma is not just about the previous life only. It's about so many past lives, about so many hundreds of past lives that he has done. Maybe in the previous birth, or maybe many births before, he was a very pious man. We don't know what has come back, or he has done some kind of ajnata sukriti. Maybe he served the Lord somehow. You see, when sometimes we go to Tirupati and we put something in the hundi as an offering, and that is ajnata sukriti. You don't know what you're doing, but you have done something very big, and that's going to help you out, all the time. So unknowingly he might have done something like, serving a great sadhu, great saintly person, great devotee like that. Maybe in this lifetime, in the previous lifetime, or in the previous lifetime, we don't know why. It's not that he remembers everything that has happened, right? It's not possible that anybody in India has not done any kind of a good activity at all, right? There are so many good activities we do, so many Krishna conscious activities we do. That's the thing. Hare Krishna. Right? Okay. So we'll take last couple of questions, last 5 minutes, and we'll close. Sridevi Mataji, Hare Krishna. చెప్పండి మాతాజీ.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ, దండత్ ప్రణవాలు. ప్రభుజీ, నిజంగా ఇలాంటి మిరాకిల్స్ ఎప్పుడో ఇలా వింటూ ఉంటాము, ఇలా మళ్ళీ పునర్జన్మ గుర్తుకు రావటం అనేది. మరి ఇప్పుడు అలా కృష్ణ భగవానుడు చెప్తారు కదా, ఇప్పుడు ఆత్మ ఇంకొక దేహాన్ని తీసుకుంటుంది, నాకు అన్ని జన్మల గురించి మీకు తెలుసు, మీకు మాత్రం ఏది గుర్తుండదు అంటారు కదా. మరి ఇప్పుడు ఇలా కొంతమందికి ఇటువంటి మిరాకిల్స్ ఎందుకు జరుగుతాయి ప్రభుజీ? మళ్ళీ వాళ్ళు అసలు ఎలా లైఫ్ లో, అసలు అది దాని గురించి భగవద్గీతలో కానీ భాగవతంలో కానీ ఏమన్నా ప్రూఫ్స్ ఉన్నాయా ప్రభుజీ? ఇలా ఒక మనిషికి గత జన్మలు గుర్తుకు రావడం అనేది, దానికి సంబంధించి అది ఎలా సాధ్యమవుతుంది అనేది?
భాగవతంలో చెప్పినటువంటి కథలలో మనకి భరత మహారాజు కథలో ఆయనకి గుర్తుంది కిందటి జన్మలో ఏం జరిగింది అని. భరత మహారాజుకి గుర్తుంది. ఎలాగైతే భరత మహారాజు ఒక లేడీ కింద పుట్టడం జరిగింది, లేడీ తర్వాత జడభరతుడి కింద పుట్టడం జరిగింది. జడభరతుడికి కిందటి జన్మ గుర్తుంది. ఆ లేడీ కింద పుట్టినప్పుడు కూడా ఆయనకి కిందటి జన్మ గుర్తుంది. ఓకే, అది భగవంతుడి దయ ఉంటే ఏదైనా జరగవచ్చు. సో అది భగవంతుడి ఆశీర్వాదాల వల్ల, భక్తుల ఆశీర్వాదం వల్ల ఏదైనా జరగవచ్చు. ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా ఎలాగా అనేది మనకు తెలియదు, మనం ఓన్లీ గెస్ చేయవచ్చు అంతే. ఇంకా రెండో ప్రశ్న ఏమడిగారు మాతాజీ? ఇంకేదో ప్రశ్న అడిగారు, ఇంకేమడిగారు
ప్రభుజీ? ఇప్పుడు తను డివోటీ కూడా కాదు కదా, అసలు ఎలా సాధ్యం అనేది అసలు అందు చిక్కట్లేదు. మళ్ళీ వెంటనే మానవ జన్మ రావటం, మళ్ళీ ఇంకోటి అసలు అది ఎలా సాధ్యం అనేది సరే ఓకే 4 months గ్యాప్ ఉన్నా కూడా అది అజ్ఞాన మీరు చెప్పినట్టుగా ఆన్సర్ అర్థమైంది ప్రభుజీ. ఇది ఎలా సాధ్యం అనేది అర్థం కావట్లేదు ప్రభుజీ.
How is it at 4 months? That's what, see, not everything we know, okay? So there are so
అది
many things
విన్నాం.
that we don't know. మనకి
అది
చాలా
విన్నాము.
విషయాలు ఇంకా తెలియదు. సో అది ఎలా జరిగింది ఏంటి అని నేను ఆన్సర్ చెప్పలేను ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా ఏం జరిగింది అని. బట్ ఇలా జరిగింది, మన కంటి ముందు ప్రత్యక్షంగా మీకు ప్రమాణం చూపించాను, అవునా కదా? మీ ప్రత్యక్ష ప్రమాణంతో చూపించాను. మీరు అన్ని ప్రశ్నలు అడిగారు, అన్నిటికీ సమాధానం ఆయన స్పష్టంగా చెప్పాను. అంటే 100% అది మనకందరికీ కూడా గ్యారంటీ అయిపోయింది. ఓకే, ఈజ్ అ రీబర్త్ కేస్ కదా, రైట్? Yes, sorry, I'm speaking in different languages so that everybody is here. So the question was, so we're getting a repeated question like, how did this happen? How did this happen? See, a lot of things that we don't understand, okay? So this is that's the reason why this Veda is called Achintya. The soul is, the subject of the soul is called Achintya. It's called inconceivable. It's if it was conceivable, we would have had so much of scientific research about it. So it's not possible to speculate about the soul and the movement of the living entities, what happens after the death, by our mental speculation. We have to follow what the scriptures are saying. We have to follow what the Vedas are saying. The Vedas have given the clear information. Bhagavad Gita has given clear information that after death you will be born again, and after born you will be dying again. We have to just accept it as it is. Okay, there's some things that we may not be able to understand. All right. Okay, we have a question here. Anandri Mataji is asking a question. Prabhuji, is there is a saying that being devotional and having the right path, being in the right path will have so many difficulties ahead. Is this true? Can you explain, sir? Yeah, that's right, because the Upanishads are saying the spiritual path is like a walk on the edge of a knife. So if you walk on the edge of the knife, you see there's some performers who put some knives and they walk on it, right? But if there is a little bit of inattentiveness, it will cut. It's so dangerous. The Upanishad is saying the same thing, right? So we have to be very carefully going in this path of spirituality, devotional activity or anything. First of all, we don't have any other option. The other option is more worse. The other option is full of darkness, ignorance. That means we are simply agreeing to darkness or ignorance. Okay, we are going to the dark path. So this path, spiritual path, when we take it, that's why we need the assistance of the spiritual master. So the guru, the reason why we need a guru or a spiritual master is because the spiritual master will warn you and will always take care of you so that you don't fall down. So the spiritual master will carefully train you in such a way that you know you don't fall down. But even if we fall down also, the only thing that we have to do is get up, pull back and continue. That's what Krishna says. Okay? So was this kind of a test? Every life is a test. Krishna is saying death is a test. Every life is a test. Just like how we are sending our children to school, to colleges, and we are making them undergo different types of tests. And they are preparing for the exam, and on the day of the test, how they perform determines what is the result that they get. There's some people who pass, there's some people who fail. There's some people who go to premium institutions. There's some people who manage to get some okay institutions. There's some people who are in poor institutions, and some people who just cannot pass at all. The same thing, our life is like that. It's an examination, and we have to be alert, and we have to be preparing every single day for this exam. The exam is the time of death, the moment of death. That's what Krishna said. I showed you the verse from the 8th chapter. So at the time of death, are you able to remember God? That is the final test. So if you remember Krishna, if you remember God, then we can go to the eternal spiritual world and don't have to come back again. So we have seen Dr. Toran Singh Chahar is a miracle. He's got another chance, but not everybody gets the second chance. Not everybody gets the second chance. You see, there's a very nice story in Srimad Bhagavatam called Ajamila. You can go through that and read that sometime. So you will understand what's the meaning, what I'm trying to say. Okay, there's a book called Second Chance. Okay, not everybody gets a second chance. So we have to use this chance. Whatever chance God has given to us right now, we have to use it in a positive way. All right? Okay. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much, devotees. So I'll unmute everybody. Thank you very much for staying here. You can just share your realizations or anything, and then we'll just close the call. Okay. అందరికీ ధన్యవాదాలు ఇంతసేపు ఉన్నందుకు. హరే కృష్ణ.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ, ధన్యవాదాలండి. దండవత్ ప్రణామాలు.
కృష్ణ ప్రభు, థ్యాంక్ యూ ప్రభు, చాలా బాగా చెప్పారు.
ప్రభుజీ ధన్యవాదాలు.
ఇంగ్లీష్ లో ఉండటం మూలకంగా తొందరగా అర్థం కాలేదు ప్రభుజీ, చాలా వరకు అర్థం కాలేదు.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ, ధన్యవాదాలు.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ.